I always like to start with opening it up to wins, and just have some fun talking about what's working, what's the latest before, for some of you, you haven't been here for a couple masterminds, maybe since last week. Any wins, any appointments being set, listings going up?
I have one.
Yes, tell us.
So I got this lead December 3rd, and it was just email and the address, and she was an absentee owner. Well, I sent the home valuation email and the video, and I checked the other day, she hadn't opened that. So I sent her another email and I said, hey, Soli, this email is for you, just please open it. And then no response. I found her in the Facebook Messenger, and I said, hey, I'm so happy that I see you here. Just let you know that I have sent you a video. Nothing. And I kept sending the videos, and I said, hey, I know that you are receiving my video, but you're not opening them. Is there anything wrong? If you cannot play the video, please let me know. Nothing. So the beginning of January, she opened one of my video, and I got the message from BombBomb that she has opened one of my videos. And I saw, like, immediately I sent her an email with the video. I said, hey, I noticed that you opened my video. Well, thank you so much. It really means to me. If you have any questions, please just let me know. I'm here to help. Then again, nothing. A few weeks later, she liked one of my videos. Then I sent her another message that, oh, thank you so much that you love my video. It means a lot to me. Just let me know how I can help you. The last week of January, like January 28th, she called me and I said, hey, this is Soli. Remember you had sent me a lot of videos. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking care of me, paying attention to me, and sending me those nice videos. But I'm ready to sell my property now, but I haven't decided which realtor I want to go with, because I just noticed that you don't have a lot of experience, as you just got your license last year. It shows that you have been in the business for 1 year in your LinkedIn. So she had gone to my LinkedIn and had checked my LinkedIn too. I'm like, yeah, that's okay. I can show you what I can do. And then you can just compare with the other realtors. And she said, for some reasons, I think I know you. I'm like, well, that's cool. And then we kept talking, and then she called me every single day. We were on the phone like maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. She kept asking me all the questions, and she was comparing me with every single realtor in Las Vegas. And yesterday she signed a contract with me just because she said, I just love you. I mean, I feel so comfortable with you. Maybe it's because of those videos and everything. And I'm sure you can do a great job because I just trust you so much. And because you were the very, very first person that sending me the video with all this information. And just because I saw your face and I saw that you are looking at the camera as if you're looking in my eyes and like talking to me directly. So I just feel that you can do it for me. And I don't believe other realtors that say that I can just get it done for you very fast, top dollar a month. But when you say that, I believe you, and I think you can do it. So here you go. I got the listing.
A lot of people would give up after 2, maybe even 1 attempt. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love that.
That was like 2 months process with her.
That's just tenacity at its finest. I think that's the mark of an amazing StreetText. Like if you do this type of stuff, I foresee amazing, deals happening with you with StreetText leads in the future.
So far, the volume that since January, I have the volume that I have sold since January has been like 2,500,000. So 1,500,000 belong to StreetText. Well, thank you.
Another one.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You know what? That's amazing. I mean, it's like I woke up this morning, I was a little bummed because I heard someone in the group say our leads are terrible. And I'm like, wow, it really begins to show me that it all begins with mindset, right? Because I could see why someone who hasn't been with StreetText before, or maybe is coming in from a different experience with the bottom of the funnel, maybe a Zillow or old school model, right? Where they're just used to having leads that are like pre-qualified, ready to go, like want you to come on over, that type of thing. And then versus a lead like this, where, they're just randomly scrolling down their feed and they see some ad that says, what's your home really worth? And where
I
did,
had another bad experience too with StreetText. So I got a lead in beginning of the January, and it had the phone number and the email. So I called him. I said, hey, well, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I was calling to see how I can help you. He said, hey, why did you call me? Don't ever dare call me. I was like, okay. Then I hung up the phone. And a few weeks later, but I kept sending him the video and I kept sending him the letters too. And a few weeks later, I saw him that he put his information again and asked me for the home valuations again. And this time I sent him a thank you letter. I said, hey, thank you so much for reaching back to me again. Just please let me know how I can help you. I'm really interested to see the inside of the house. 10 days later, I received a very weird letter in my mail. It had used the same shipping label that I had put on my letters and the same stamps and the same envelope. I was like, that's weird, but no shipping label for the Sandy. I mean, I didn't know where this has come from. I opened the letter. It was the same thank you letter that I had sent him, but it was shredded into pieces. Yeah. That was like absolute hatred and absolute meanness of him.
yeah.
Yes.
There's just some people you just can't get through to, unfortunately.
No, he was bad.
Those are the people that see life through fear and scarcity, and unfortunately just have probably bad mindsets overall. You can't change them.
Yeah.
Never operate like you're the only one either, because others are sending things. So in fairness, I always tell my guys, look, there's certain things I don't do. I don't want to be agent number 80 calling to get the wrath for the other 79. So, in this job, you got to have a thick layer of skin, and you got to take it and just realize that sometimes it's not directed at you. When they do that to me, I just leave it running, and they come back, and I don't even bring up that we talked before, because
I deleted him.
They don't know
everything.
who you are. Yeah, they don't know who you are.
Next time he's gonna be at my door with the gun. Yeah, he could do that when he was like show me that kind of hatred, but I didn't let him to destroy my mindset for what I'm doing and through the StreetText and through the Facebook. I mean, right after he solely called me and she gave me her listing, so that means a lot to me.
Are you using your own personal address as your return to sender address?
I have to, yes, I have to, because I work from home. So a lot of the letters that I send, they come back. So I have to have a track. So that's why I have to use my home address. I know it's a little bit dangerous, but I have no choice.
No, that's extremely dangerous, especially here in Vegas. Use your office, even if you only pop in your office once a week. Or get a P.O. box. Don't use your personal home address.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. Okay, I'll do that.
I use a P.O. box. That way I can access it whatever times.
I have 2 wins.
Okay.
I'd like to share.
Yes, Lisa.
All right. So 1 win. Again, another lead, made the phone call, and made the connection, have an appointment for the listing appointment for Monday. He is competing. I am competing with a couple other agents, which I'm okay with, because now I've sent him I actually got him to send me pictures. We talked more about what he did with his home. He is actually a contractor. My husband and I own a construction company, so we made that connection. And then it was funny because last night we were talking again, and his wife was like, can she help us buy too? And I'm like, okay, I got the wife on board. I already know that. And then, so we got the appointment set up for Monday, again, and I'm the first one in, and I want to be the first one and the last one. So hopefully he won't meet with anybody else. So that's a huge win again, because again, I just started this in January. So this will be, if I can get this signed, this will be, I have a buy and sell, and this could be a buy sell. And then I have another appointment on the 13th with another guy that's selling and buying. So the leads to me more real than anything I've had. And so I really appreciate it. And the second big win, I taught my husband how to send out the videos with the CMAs. So I don't have to do it. So I can continue going to my appointments, and he can send out my video that because I used to do everything, hey Tim, hey Kim, hey whatever. I got so busy that I wasn't doing it so now I just made sure that he puts in the email, hey Kim, and then, or hey Tim, or whatever it may be, that he puts it in the email, but I have a video that's sent out that makes it look like it's specifically to them. And again, I do that in a separate email. from my StreetText one so that I can see if they've opened it, how they've opened it, how long they watched it, and those kind of things with co-video. But I do have a question for you guys. You know how we can take them off of the marketing, but if I only want to take them off of Julie, how do I take them only off of Julie? Because the guy that I set the appointment with last night was just like, so what's this like virtual meeting that Julie was talking about? And this is after I'd already been talking to him. And I'm like, oh shit. You know, they said, Julie's my assistant and we normally do Zoom. And, you know, so I went on there and kind of typed in there, said, hey, Julie, you know, thanks for, you know, making it look like it's real, and sent it to both of them. But how do you, is there a way to just shut off Julie?
Troy?
Not just Julie. It's pretty much the whole entire automation or nothing. Unfortunately. So, okay. But if they have replied to Julie, it stops Julie, right? So that's the kind of thing there. You can always, you know, blame everything on Julie. Yeah. You know, if they reply and be like, hey, Julie, we just haven't been in contact. I've been out of the office all day. You know, Julie didn't know. Sorry about that. You know.
Sorry to interrupt you, Troy. I would reimagine the automation sometimes. Like, you know, I know Jennifer Salter just entered the meeting. I think ultimately when you have these automations flying through, like the auto emails, the auto text messages, the key for you is to take a look at it, take a step back and reevaluate what's being sent out and how it's being sent out, and then consider making some changes. Because really you could go in there with this idea of like, all right, you know, as soon as they submit their email, I get to create the experience I want them to have in that very moment, because that's where everything begins. Text message included, the time it's being sent out, how it's being sent out, what it's saying, whether it's Julie or not, the context of it. And so that's what Jennifer has done really well, throwing in emojis, making it more feel like a language she would use in that market. And then another thing to consider is that with every email sent out, you could also add an action that as soon as that email is sent out, the text message goes out shortly after to really, you know, help you get that email open. So you can create the actions or set it's sequential. So that's what Jennifer does as well. So where it goes email, text message, maybe 3 to 5 minutes or a little bit later, just to say, hey, check your folders. You know, it could be in the spam and the trash folder. I included a video, or we included a video, or, you know, she can use Julie's whole name. To really confirm and get that process started, because that's where you want everything going. And remember, again, with Julie too, it automatically stops as soon as they respond to it. So really, it's not there in my mind to really have 5 text messages. That might be a little bit long anyways. You might want to go shorten that up or change it up, because you should be getting some sort of response in the first 2 touches and then kind of take it over and role play with it, or, you know, hand over the information as yourself. But before,
so does Julie stop for good once they respond?
Yes, and you go in there and
know that. So then I shouldn't shut off the rest of the automation if they've responded to Julie.
Right. And you should go in there anyways and take over within the desktop the conversation.
Right, and I do that, but I didn't realize she was shut off.
Are you saying? Aren't you saying just the text though, not the whole automation, right?
Right.
Just a text. But Lisa, you've been here since January, and good on you, because you've done really, really well. There's a lot of newbies and there's a lot of obviously really experienced people. And I did a post the other day, which I was really, it always surprised me when I write these posts that says, how long have you been with StreetText? You know, how many deals have you done? You know, do you come to the masterminds type of thing? And I saw a few in there that have been with us 6 months to a year and had nothing. And then there's people like you that get into it and do it right away. What would be your takeaway, your feedback to people that maybe are struggling or haven't had a deal yet? And what would you say is the key takeaway in your follow-up process has allowed you to create conversations with these leads who very much appear to be just curious people?
It's really about making the connection and making it more personal. So I don't use just your guys's format. I use my own videos on them. And then if they, like one I got that they were like, this is completely wrong. This is not enough information. This isn't even the pictures of the house. I mean, it was kind of funny. And so then I sent back a video, and literally we've been videoing back and forth with that, because even though she was upset at first because the pictures weren't wrong, the information was wrong and all of that, I just connected with her right away, and it was like, let me do it this way, and let me take a look and just ask questions. So to me, it's just about that relationship base. and really making it to get them to know me on a personal level. And I do the Facebook thing too, where I go and I send them a friend request if I can find them. And if I can't find them, then it's about, hey, just trying to send you a friend request. Couldn't figure out which one it is. This is mine. So go to mine. So it's just about the relationship.
But so much about connection. I love that. I mean, and that's what it comes down to. I find that the biggest struggle with people is when they don't have that connection. It's like, if that person never gets to meet you, see that you're genuinely looking to connect, you know, and that model of no like before trust. There's a no like process. Yep. And so how persistent you are with creating that relationship, from coming from contribution to being authentic, and why you want to deliver that information this specific way you're trying to get it to them, and then continue to follow up that way, right? Because the worst thing you could do is just give something away without them ever acknowledging, well, why are you giving it to me this way? You know, if you give away the CMA, I saw someone say, I've given 70 CMAs. I'm like, well, you know, giving 70 CMAs is one thing. I appreciate that, but maybe withhold a little bit, just so withhold a little bit of information, just so that you can begin that conversation. So how much of a CMA do you produce in the beginning? And if you don't hear from somebody, do you leave them with something just that's a little bit more wide open? How do you do that?
So I literally give a range, and I tell them, so this range is based off of if it's in really poor condition or really great condition. And the only way I can really tell you what your home is worth, or what we could list it for, is if you get back to me and let me know, have you done any bathroom updates? Have you added bathrooms? Have you added bedrooms? Have you updated your kitchen? Let me know, and then I can be more specific with you. And just those 3 things, of course, if they've done something, they are going to brag about their house. And so then they get back to you right away. And then the one that I'm meeting on the 13th, I actually talked with him in February originally. His house was such a disaster, he didn't want me to come and see it. And I tried to tell him, no worries, I don't worry about it, I can see it. And he's like, no, let me just get it cleaned up. And so his was on the lower end. So when I said that about, you know, in not great condition and great condition, he resonated with the not great condition, but I want to clean it for you before you come over. And so it's just, that's why I like the range. And that's why I say, hey, just let me know more information, and then I can be more specific for you. So mine is not real long, and it's a range.
Lisa, what do you use RPR for a range?
I do.
Okay, because I've been new with the StreetText, gotten a lot of leads, and I send them the RPR report, and then they like I never hear from them again, or I don't know what I really should be doing.
Do you send them a video with it, Rudy?
I'm working on that.
Okay, so it just literally, all I do is I send a video that says, hey, here's your market analysis, just so you know, it's on a range. And the low end is if your home is not in great condition. The high end is if it's in great condition. Let me know if you've done any updates, either adding bedrooms, adding bathrooms, or refinished your kitchen. That's literally about all I do. And they will tell you, they'll come back and tell you what they've done, because then it's more, then they'll want to know what more specific. This way you're not giving them that specific number.
Yeah, I'm sorry, where do you put the video? In the RPR report or the email?
So I do it via a different email than the StreetText. So I actually, from my personal email, and then I say, you know, hi Tim, and insert my video. And so I know a lot of StreetTexters use BombBomb. I use CoVideo, and it just integrates right into it. Super simple.
And Lisa, can I clarify? Because I think the cool thing you're doing is you're not repeating work. So the video you send is evergreen, but you make it personable by putting their name in their RPR report below. So it's personalized, but that video you're not shooting personally for them. You're just using the same video.
Correct. I am now. I wasn't at first, but then I realized it was too much work, and that's where I got the husband involved. So I created one without using a name in there anymore. Because I used to go, hey, Tim, in my video. Now I just went, hey, it's just send in your RPR. So I start that way with no name in there. So that now it's simpler.
Cool.
Lisa, are you sending out like the full RPR report?
I'm sending out just the short property report.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's the
Less
first.
more sometimes.
On the RPR, it asks, it's the property report and the seller's report. Is there a short one?
The property report is shorter. So the very first one is shorter. That's the one I send out.
It's like 26 pages. Like
it's not even that long. It's a lot shorter than that, I believe. It's the shorter one.
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, it's not the sellers, because the sellers report is super long and I think too much.
Yeah,
No,
hey,
Less is more.
when
the
you're
first
Called the
one
mini
is-
property report. Oh, sorry. It's called the
Yep.
mini property report.
Oh, okay.
Can you
Because
do
the
us a
first-
favor, Lisa? If you go to our files section at some point, it doesn't have to be today, but whenever, upload one of those reports just to kind of give an example. And then obviously we'd love to see that evergreen video that you've used and you know how you kind of format an email that you send out after you're sending that. Now in that process, are you like someone submits their address and then their email? Is there an automated video email going out?
Yes, so the one that you guys helped me create, the I'm on it. So the I'm on it video goes out first.
Cool.
And then the CMA goes.
And then the CMA goes. And then are you doing anything with day 3 and beyond?
I have not even, truthfully, I haven't even gotten that far. It's on my notes to get to where I want to personalize those, like the masterminds in here that I love and love learning from. I just haven't gotten that far because I can honestly say I've been so busy, which is a good problem to have. But that's my goal, is to block schedule to update those with videos too, more personalized videos.
And your personal videos do look for a connection on Facebook. So you put your own personal Facebook in there and try to make a connection that way.
Yes, I'm all about the social connection. And try to get them on Zoom as fast as I can too. Because if I can get on Zoom as fast as I can, then we can really meet personally.
Now, do you feel like most homeowners know how to use Zoom, or do you educate them there?
Best thing to come out of COVID is the Zoom, because more people are ready to use the Zoom and are more ready to meet you that way prior to, because people are still wanting to be safe. So to me, more people are more tech savvy than they were a year ago.
Awesome. And then you asking for pictures. And have you ever tried to ask for them to give you a tour of the home?
I usually set that up when we meet. So I ask for the pictures first and then try to get inside the home. So that's my MO for all of my kind of listing appointments, is making sure that we, because I want to see the pictures. I want to see what's happening. And those that don't have their houses, those that have done up their houses very nicely, we'll send them to you. Those that haven't, don't really want to send them to you. And then I try to make them feel at ease that, no worries, I've seen it all. Hey, I have a dump trailer for you to use. I mean, that's one of the things I go to, is that, if you need me to bring my dump trailer and if you want to let me drop off my dump trailer and you can use it, we'll do that. So no worries. I always just, no worries is one of my big phrases. No worries.
No worries. Kuna Matata.
Can I use your dump trailer? I need it right now.
So anybody else doing similar to Lisa or want to expand on that? Yeah, go ahead, Juan.
I have finally a couple of wins to share. When I first started, I was using the typical RPR report, Cloud CMA. It was just sending information, no other stamp on it. And then I bought Jennifer's course, and she kind of teaches you that you need to go back to those who've never opened anything and resend stuff. So you have to retweak stuff. And ever since I started retweaking those emails, from 0 conversation starters to about 4 to 5 times more conversation starters, because like Lisa said, that people want to tell you if they've upgraded their toilet bowl. So they want to share that information. So from one of my early December, because that's when I first joined, I resent the video CMA and got back a conversation, started the conversation. They're not ready to sell, but they introduced me to one of their family members who lives out in Rhode Island. And as of yesterday, we were able to pre-approve them for a $450,000 house. So that was a plus there. Then I had another seller who I sent my revised CMA, and they have hit every single point of the different companies that I've been using to sort of show them what all these internet companies are saying that their company or their house is worth. And they keep hitting me back with more questions, more questions, more questions. And then early this morning, I noticed that they requested me as a friend on Facebook. So definitely trying to get the conversation started some which way, form or the other is what works. Those long reports with no personality, they don't know who they're getting it from. Maybe some people are expecting that, but the majority from what I'm seeing, they're not opening those emails. They're opening the ones where you're saying, you know, with the little big thing on your phone that says, hey, Roger, or hey, Mary, hey, Thomas. That seems to be attracting them, and you're basically personalizing the information for them. So I'm finding that that definitely works versus just sending generic stuff. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Jennifer.
It's amazing.
There's, if I can share, Marcus, I kind of shared yesterday a little bit in our meeting. Some things I've been doing this week that's different. And this is again, Jennifer, bow to you. I have gone back on my Facebook, and everyone who has liked my ad or shared it, I've contacted every single one of those. And I have 3 listing appointments this weekend out of it. They are responding through Facebook Messenger, more than they're responding to my emails to them. So heck, I'm going back. And if I happen to catch the wrong person, you know, Mark Smith, if I catch the wrong one, I've actually gotten another lead out of that saying, well, can you tell me what you were showing the other Mark Smith? I'm interested. So I'm becoming a believer, Jennifer, that, and before I was very hesitant to open up my Facebook to everyone and invite everyone in, but those are the ones that are responding like that. I mean, and they're coming back with all the information on their house, you know, and I'm always responding with a question. So we're keeping that conversation going. But I mean, 3 listing appointments this weekend, I can't beat that.
Hey, Kim, are you adding them as friends or just sending them a message?
Both. Yep.
So that's like the power. Like a lot of people are like super hesitant about like opening up their personal account and all that.
That was me.
I gotta say, like it really is. It's the difference between being closed to, you know, having a relationship with somebody to being open to create one, right? And people feel that too. It's like, oh, they reached out to me more personally instead of like through a business page, which is just cold and meh, right? Versus, oh, this is a real person. You see that they have like posts, they have kids, they're into horses, or in Wendy's case, into Jeeps, crawling up big giant rocks that scare the crap out of me. But you know, it's very personal that way, right? And it's like, oh, this is just a regular person who wants to connect and who will take care of me. And that's what's important.
Well, what I found interesting is these weren't people that had even responded to the ad saying, you know, that went through the funnel through StreetText. These were people that just liked the ad.
Just like
yeah.
it. You know, and we forget to hover our little mouse over those likes to see who their actual names behind them that you could actually go find on Facebook. And you got to remember too, I think a lot of people forget about this. You are literally running an ad from your business page, but you're on the personal news feed of that lead when they click on it. So it makes complete sense logically to turn that conversation back around on where it all got started personally on Facebook, in their personal Facebook. And so if you can create a connection from your personal Facebook to their personal Facebook, this is more likely to get exchanged because you're in a safe place for them. That's where they're already spending lots of time. Maybe the email is not a safe place for them. Maybe it's not neither is a text or anywhere else, but that Facebook and immediately puts your face behind it, right? Puts your personality behind it. They could go search and seek you out and see what you represent and who you are and your family and all this stuff, and immediately allows them to see that this is a real person with, you know, a life outside of just trying to sell their home. So I think it's an important connection to consider. And I really feel like from the successes that I've seen, people that really put that first as a priority are in many ways way more successful than not. I mean, you obviously you can do it the other way, but it's just going to be a little bit harder for that connection naturally to happen.
I just closed my first StreetText lead 2 weeks ago. They were a buy and a sell, and I got them from reaching out to her on Facebook. I sent her a messenger, just a quick video, because I kept seeing that she was opening my emails and watching the videos and looking at the report, but she wasn't reaching out to me. So when I found her on Facebook and sent her that message, she immediately replied to me. And we created a conversation, met with them. I sold their house. They bought another one. So we just closed that one. And I had actually stopped my ads back in December because I was just overwhelmed with them. Fortunately, in my area, my ads just perform really well. I mean, it's kind of like shooting fish in a barrel over here, fortunately for me. But I launched my new ad yesterday at like 1 o'clock. And I'm still like doing my split test and have all 3 running, but I have gotten 13 emails and addresses, and I've got 2 of them that are ready to list. They put immediately down. One is wanting to list within the next month. And I've had 2 conversations with people via Julie already this morning. So I have gotten some great leads via StreetText. They are not crap leads, despite what everybody, if everybody's saying that, it's not true.
You're a win. And whenever someone says that, actually, they just start with the wrong mindset, because there's not a single lead, even in address only, that's trash. If you're willing to take the extra effort to try to connect with that person. I mean, if someone wanted to, they could go pull up tax records, they can cross-reference information, and they can just pick up the phone or get on Facebook and make a connection, but a lot of people won't do that. So they're looking for the lead that says, I want to sell right now. And unfortunately, you're not going to find that using a what's your home really worth ad. Like, that just doesn't happen. I mean, it could happen, but that's like winning the lotto when it does. Yeah. So I think that's key. You got to start with the understanding of the top of funnel and then really embrace that it's a relationship driven program.
And everything we've been hearing is that you went beyond the automations. Like, everything we've been hearing was that people are just so used to getting automations now. It's just second nature. I plug these numbers in. Like, even the way I set up my cable recently when I got to my house, like, it came in a box. Nobody came. I just plugged everything in. I followed instructions. They said, download this on your phone, and my internet was working. Like, everything's so automated now. I even had somebody message us here. I was talking to them in text. And they said to me, is this a real person or am I talking to a robot? And I'm like, I wish I could make a robot this intelligent. Like, I'm a real person. I'm speaking to you intelligently. Like, this is an actual conversation, and they're still asking if I'm a robot. So the fact that they're clicking on it, thinking they're getting something automated, people are so used to that, it's not in their best interest. So by, like, it's those personal things. It's like Lacey saying, I'm messaging them on Facebook Messenger. No, thank you. Not doing that. And then now she's done it and got a great result. And she's like, let's do it again. Let's go back. And like, it's those little extra personal touches and just understanding that, yeah, people think it's automated. So what are we going to do to make it not look automated? And that's a common theme you're hearing through all of these wins.
On a note of that, about thinking that it's actually going to be automated and having a surprise that it's actually a person behind it, I've had 2 of my past clients click on the link, and all of a sudden I'm sending them a video, and I'm like, hey, are you thinking about moving, or are you just curious, or what's going on here? Let me know, because I stay in touch with most of my, but if they don't want to, if they're if they're clicking on the link, they're thinking about something. And so I get it back that they're like, I'm sorry, Lisa, I didn't mean to cause you more work. I just thought this was automated, and I can't believe it. So it's okay that they think that it's automated, but they're so pleasantly surprised when it's not. I think that's what is the difference with StreetText, is because all of a sudden they find out that, oh my gosh, this is a real person, and you took the time to care enough to do this CMA, and you took the time enough to send me a video. Wow. So there can be wow moments in it.
Hey, and don't forget to have fun. I don't know if you knew this, but Facebook Messenger has filters. And lately I've been having a lot of fun with filters. Like, you can put yourself in a little helmet and a football pad and just like do a 15-minute message.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
So
hey, but it ain't
Mustache
it
man
ain't a
cut?
Raider outfit. So are you a bandwagon rider, Marcus?
no, it's just the filter they offer, and it's Super Bowl time, and it's relevant, and everyone knows Tom Brady just won it, the GOAT. All right, so it's relevant. So you just have fun, because you need to disrupt that thought process that that person thought they were getting an automated CMA. So when you disrupt that and you have fun with it, and you're like, hey, you probably thought this is where I really remember Stephen Dreyer's video where he was out in front of the house, Leon, you remember that one. You get to create that experience you want them to have. It doesn't have to be a cookie cutter, have you done any updates or renovations video. I think ultimately when they get to that inbox for the first time, it's about having a fun and allowing them to see personality, and that you're going to actually connect with them however you want to connect. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be this cookie cutter behind a desk, in your suit. I'm a real estate professional. That's going to get you your home value, right? I think that's all on you. The moment they throw in their email, it's fair game. You could do whatever you want as long as it's authentic.
I do have one more thing to add regarding the reach out I did this week to those Facebook people. I'm able to connect with them on a different level as professionals. I have one photographer who I now have added to my database of real estate photographers. And there was a builder was one of them, and a sign maker. And I know a lot of people do custom signs as gifts for their home buyers, things like that. But it's really networking in the basic sense of the word, and building up my database of referrals if someone is looking for something. I've got my list. So I don't know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours type of thing.
I have a question about Facebook, please. I've noticed on my Facebook, I don't go on Facebook very often, but I saw on a thing said, if you could get the right price, would you sell your house now? Is that one of StreetText's ads, or that? Because I also use listings to leads. They put stuff on Facebook too.
That was listing to leads.
Okay.
With that one. And I'll tell you, I have used listing to leads for a couple years now. I do not get the results that I'm getting from StreetText. So I do not get the real people. I do not get the responses that I do from StreetText. And I just use it because I like to mix up my advertising. But when it comes to real people and making connections, and like I said, I've only been doing this for a month, but I've never had this kind of results.
Yeah, listings to leads. I'm gonna maybe another month, and then that's it. Because I've had nothing with that from them at all.
I used to use listing to leads, and it was really cool. And they pushed your ads out, and you got a ton of leads, but they were all not real. Like the numbers didn't work, the emails weren't good. It was, it was great that you're getting all these leads, but it doesn't, they're not worth anything. So I turned it off after StreetText, because List Reports is free from your lender, and it gives you the same type of cool tools that you can use for posting stuff about your properties and the market and stuff.
Wendy, you said you had a win. Do you want to share your win?
I do have a win. Okay, so for all you people in Las Vegas, this is a Vegas Knights calendar. No, I don't have the Raiders, Marcus, yet. But they're magnets that go on the calendar, and every year I send out a ton. This year we ordered 3,000. So I have a lot to get out, but I decided, and then it comes with an insert, and it kind of gives you a little information about you and the same picture that they should be seeing on all of your marketing. And then they're going to see you on their refrigerator every day. So, and for some reason, like the Golden Knights, people just love them. I've came across some people that don't really watch the games, but I don't have any haters. Like Raiders have a lot of haters. So I don't know if I would do as good with the Raider calendar. They may unfriend me, but anyway, so we started sending them out to the StreetText people that come in. They give their address. And so that's just another way to reach out and touch them. And then last weekend, we went and
I recently moved, so I started farming my new area. I still farm my old area, but I started farming my new area. So we hit 600 houses in my neighborhood. And one of them called me and Monday, which was super funny because I was really, really sore from walking up all the driveways and I was like dying. And I'm like, why do I do this? I should have just mailed them. And anyway, and he's like, hey, yeah, I got your calendar. And, you know, I've talked to my neighbors and they all said you're pretty good in this area. I'd like to sell my home and 3 rentals.
Woo!
I know, I'm super
excited. Wendy, so what do you say when you mail it? Do you include anything with it or do you just have that in the envelope? And what were you saying when you went and door knocked?
Well, I did not door knock. There's 600 houses. There's no way I could talk to that many people in one day. So, plus I had 3 helpers. And then, shoot. Oh, I think I mailed them all. Basically, I had a little flyer in there. So it has the insert and it has like, you miss 100% of the shots that you never take. And then it has my info there. And then it has the calendar. And then I created a little blurb about, you know, how I just sold their neighbor's house and got, you know, $32,000 more than list price in the first weekend. And, you know, I can help you too. So that might have helped a little bit. So if you're going to do that, you may want to pick an area that you just crushed. You know what I mean? And
so are you going to share this with us in the group?
The little flyer I put in with it. Yes, I can do that. And then I also screenshotted it and put it in section 27 group, which that's where we all live. And I'm like, I'm not sure if this is allowed because, you know, some groups hate real estate ads. And I got over 40 messages just from posting up, you know, the new listing of the guy's house that I just got. So we sold it in pre-marketing for $26,000 more.
Congratulations, girl. That's awesome.
I know. Now I just got to deal with all the tenants. So anyway, that's a huge win. Thank you for letting me share.
Keep sharing. Go ahead. Keep sharing. There's a lot of wins. You have one.
I'm down here working.
I'm going to share a loss. How about that? I'm going to share a loss. So I was thinking now that I'm in my new house and I'm getting situated, we start demo on Friday, by the way, but I was going back through all the leads and I thought, you know, I really want to start in the new house by making sure I've touched all of these 1,000 leads that I've had with StreetText. And I try to tell people this. You were talking about mindset, Marcus, and it's so interesting because, you know, I've averaged 1 a month since I've been with you guys. Some months it's 3 and some months it's 0. Well, this is a month that's 0. So at this point, I'm like, what the heck? It's time, right? So I have gone through and personally touched, and I sent out that email talking about low inventory. And I did a video, and it basically said your house can sell high. And it was like a little snippet that I was sharing out. Well, I was noticing I wasn't getting any opens. So I thought, okay, instead of sharing it on Gmail, I'm going to go over to BombBomb and I'm going to send it out that way. But I can't personalize it and say your house at 123 ABC Street. I just have to leave it generic. And I was still getting kind of low opens, or I was getting opens with no responses. And I was getting really frustrated. But the whole point is that when you're trying something, right, you have to see it through to find out, number one, why it's not working. And you have to do a case study. You know, it's the teacher in me. So I thought, you know, I don't care if it takes me the next week. Like, I've got to go through it. I've got to manually do this for all 1,000 leads until I find out why. And so now I'm on page 25 of my 52 leads, right? And I'm noticing that the open rates are getting better and better as the pages go down. And so my research is telling me that my oldest leads at this point, I'm going to have to do more, because at this point, when I'm in their inbox, either A, they don't care, they don't remember, but there's no connection anymore. So I thought, I'm going to keep and see this through, and the open rates are getting better. They were hovering right around 5%, which we all know kind of stinks. But now I'm like at that point where it's at about a 20% open rate. So I'm like, okay, maybe if I continue to go through it, the most recent people who clicked on the ads are going to be the most responsive. And I've obviously missed the ball with these later folks that have been, you know, from a year ago. And so my next step is, once I get through to all of them, I'm going to go on Facebook and make sure I've connected with all those old leads. I'm going to send them a message. That way they can see me and be more personal. But I'm glad that I got through that hump, because I was getting more and more frustrated. And I thought, but this is what's important. You've got to find out why something's not working. And so what I realize is, just as it's important to continue connecting with the older leads, phone and seeing them is going to be your best bet to reconnect with them, because they've forgotten about you.
I had 2 years back was my best hits when I looked at everything from last year. And so, you know, I say this all the time. Everybody worries about getting more leads. What good is having 1,000 that you're not working with, that you have, if you're chasing one new one that you know nothing about? You know, the nurture process is real. So I had a video the other day, and I was gonna save this till the end of the group, but I'll make this quick. I noticed everybody's been kind of snippy this week, and I laugh. I can give you 3 losses. I've got my butt kicked all the way from frickin' the Canadian border to the southern of Washington, because buyers just can't drop 50,000 over asking price and get a house. So you're writing an offer knowing it's not going to get accepted, because someone's going to come just drop some absolutely ridiculous thing. I lost one on my Amazon guy that went 100,000 over twice. So it's out there, and I finally got him a house because another agent made a mistake. So if you have buyers that you can't find something, go look for mistakes, see why something else ain't selling, go after it. But the whole point of this is, we have leads to nurture. We need to go back and reach out to the folks we've had. No one gets out of bed going, oh, I'm selling my house today. So the gold is sitting there. And if you think about it in real life, when you pan gold, it ain't on the surface. You got to dig for it. So what you need to do is go back in, look at what you have in your leads, start at the bottom and work your way up. Yeah. And by the time you get to the top, you'll be touching folks that sat there a while. You get results, because my best results I've had over the last couple of weeks, I'm in the most brutal markets you're going to get, is working my sellers, finding the few folks that have been there a while, re-engaging. It's there. You know, the statistics are true. And so sometimes they say you wait long enough, the old ways come back. I commend people door knocking. I don't door knock. I'll drop something on your doorknob. But if you go back in there, the statistics, if you're going to call 2 or 3 times, then you're with the other 95%. They're going to complain. They get nothing. And that's, you know, when Stephen was saying that on the video he did the other day, I started laughing. He's like, yeah, I've been down that road. You have to sit there and reach out. If you're not willing to go 7 to 10 to 12 times, and don't let it just be the automation. If you go texting Tuesdays and shoot a text, re-engage, do something, you got to reach out. And he said the key thing I always go by: this is a business. This is not a game. If this is a game, then go play Monopoly. But this is a business. So you have to get up, change your mindset. And I said I did a video the other day, do something different, tweak it. There's so much help in here. I'm laughing because what I heard today about, oh, I don't want to show you my house because it looks bad. I figure I'm gonna go find an old, ugly Addams Family house, and I'm gonna send him something going, I seen worse, and just get the laugh. But I come in here and I learn something every time. And so I just want to say, instead of us picking on each other, let's get back to helping each other, because that's what brought me back in here in the first place.
I love it. I love it.
Well said.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For whoever said, I'm sending messages out to people that like the Facebook post. So I do know you can go in there, you can see who's liked it, and you can go in and private message them. Obviously, if they haven't reached out to you with an address or anything like that, you don't know if they're a buyer, you don't know if they're a seller. So what are you guys saying? Just basically saying that, you know, the interest rates are super low and so is the inventory. So it's a great time to buy and sell, and I'm helping people all day long.
They're asking, they're liking my ad about a home valuation. So I'm asking them, you know, I saw that you liked this ad that I placed and wondering if you would like a home valuation sent to you. And then they came, you know, free, no strings attached. Marcus is going to love this. No strings attached, no cost, just because I want to do it. And then they come back and they're like, well, yeah, sure. You know, I didn't want to fill out the form. All I did was like it. And so I don't even go into the market. I just treat it as a valuation request.
Right. Well, my picture is just really pretty of Las Vegas. So a lot of people just like it. So I don't know if they're a buyer or a seller, you know.
Reach out to them.
So yeah, but without knowing if they're interested in the value or just the picture of Las Vegas, shouldn't I say something about how it's a good time to buy and sell here or no?
What is your ad about?
It's a very pretty picture of Las Vegas, but it is the find your home value. A lot of people don't read, they just look and like. So that's what I'm saying. It's a pretty picture. Who knows?
So
maybe just
take a snapshot of that picture and of the ad, Wendy. Yeah, take like a snapshot of a screenshot of it, and then send it with the Facebook message. You'd be like, hey, I saw you like this ad. You know, I'm just curious, could I get you a complimentary home value, or are you, that type of thing.
Yep.
Thank you. I already have that, so I'll just do that.
I want to echo Jennifer and Leon's comments about following up on old leads. I did my original trial for StreetText last July and then sat for a while. And I'm going back now, it's been 7 months, to those July leads, some of which were address only that I couldn't even keep up with the volume that were coming through at that time. And they're now ready to sell, or I'm finding that some of them, quite a few of them, have already listed and sold just in the last few months, which is, you know, signal to me that, hey, these are nuggets. These are really people that want to sell that are contacting us. So I just sent out 500 mailers to that whole July through August stint of people who contacted me, because I can't do it all by phone right now. I'm to the point where I need a VA, hire a virtual assistant if it's going to keep coming in like this, which is a good problem to have, right?
Hey, I saw that Jonky's doing some course or a webinar actually that's coming up about starting to how to navigate that process of getting your first virtual assistant. But I think it's on Lab Code Agents, but I don't remember what day it's on.
I thought it was today at 11.
No, we're doing an event with them today at 11. I don't know. StreetText is for sure. I'll post it in the group.
What time are you talking about? Because it's 1 o'clock here. What time
It's noon here. I'm central.
It's almost 10 a.m. on Pacific Standard Time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, see if we can find out. I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, we'll post it in the group in the announcement section.
Hey guys, I just want to clarify something that you all were talking about earlier. If a lead responds to Julie's text, does that mean that Julie automatically stops?
Automatically.
What about if I respond in that text box to the lead? Do they get that text?
Yes.
So they still at least, it's just Julie stops, but I can continue the conversation.
You're Julie. You become Julie.
Oh, I become Julie. Yes, correct. I become Julie,
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, I'm sorry. The ISA team is 10 o'clock today, and she's running that with Tristan. Tristan's hosting it from Lab Coach. So there is something they're doing at 10 a.m. today.
Which is what time here?
2 minutes.
Oh, 2 minutes. Okay.
That's in 2 minutes for people looking for an ISA hire. Awesome. I don't think we really got to text messaging, Troy. So many wins to share.
Okay, we can do it next week.
Win Wednesday.
Win Wednesday. We did have another win. Who has the win they wanted to share? I think it was Ma. Did you have a win you wanted to share if you're there? Is she gone?
No, I'm here. I was just unmuting.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, finally a win. Actually, a couple of wins. I referred another person to StreetText, and I'm sending them a referral from StreetText. And I've also reached out through LinkedIn to one of the leads and spoke to him yesterday, getting pre-approved, buying a 1.3, and he owns a home as well. So that's a win, a double whammy.
Hey, free
99.
Free 99 LinkedIn. So no one ever goes to LinkedIn anymore.
Oh no, I go to LinkedIn. I go to LinkedIn when I see it on the, I think you were, or maybe Aiden, on the contact, you can see if their Twitter, their Facebook is so rare to see their profile, but I see a lot of LinkedIn. So I go to LinkedIn, and if they're techie, I'm background techie. So we link, and when he never answered any calls or anything, I sent him a message on LinkedIn, and I said, oh, I'm sure we know mutual friends in the business, and I saw you liking one of my on my listings. I'd love to connect with you and see how I can help you. And bam, 2 days later, he replied to me.
Do you have free LinkedIn or do you have the premium?
I have the free. I used to have the premium, but I have the free now. I could get premium, but it doesn't matter. You still can reach out to them. You can just connect and put a message.
You know, I think I'll make that my not so New Year's resolution. That might be a really good idea. If I can't find someone on Facebook, maybe I can look for them on LinkedIn, because, you know, that's my whole thing with LinkedIn. I feel like everybody reaches out and it's always business. So, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be very bad if I went out and like reached out to them about it. I haven't tried that actually.
Okay, so something I started to do also, in the summer, LinkedIn have a story right now. So whenever I put a story on Facebook, Insta, I go put it on LinkedIn. It started 2-3 people looking at those stories. It's becoming known more. So I see 10 people, 11 people. And whenever I have a win, I have a reward with the business, I put it there in like a post. And sometimes I put motivation post. People see it. Only one client can see it and click, you have a win. But
I'm going to go add you right now just so I can kind of see. I'm going to stalk you on LinkedIn just so you're aware.
Yes,
yes. And don't forget with LinkedIn too, you can send video messages now.
I don't want to bombard them because they're too business, and some people would, would say, oh, it's not social. But if you go and like people, like their post, eventually you can connect with them, and you never know. And I know what you do. I don't put everything about real estate. I put some business. I put some post, something motivational that I would share it as well. And I'm careful with LinkedIn. But I put on all my platform, any story, hey, Tuesday, mood, whatever. I just get a snapshot, and I live around in a very popular area, and they finally open dining outdoor and say, hey, back to life, and I put something, and you see people responding, but not all business and not too social.
And that's what you do. LinkedIn is a very good tool. I've got about 7,100 plus besties on there. So what I do is I go in there. I do have a professional account, but you don't need it for that. So if you have time on your hands, go into LinkedIn. I went and found people that are away from where I'm at. I went to look for just brokers in all the other states. I was centralizing around military bases because that's a niche, and friending them. That way, I got 3 referrals off LinkedIn last year from other brokers that were in other places. And then what I do is I give them the happy birthday, congratulate on the new job. I acknowledge it and get that touch, and it works, and it's free. If you sit down and I have what I call my social media Saturday, which means 8 o'clock Saturday morning when I don't want to get out of bed, I'll spend 30 minutes just going through updating all that stuff, and I build it up. So my goal originally was to see how long it'd take to get 5,000. I'm at 7,100 now, and I started about 2.5 years ago. So don't just get anybody initially, and what you'll have happen is as you add them, their people on their friends start asking you to friend them and accept them. So your list will build up. It just climbs like crazy, and it is a good source of business. I had a really high-end listing from a lawyer getting a divorce that I found in LinkedIn, and I went and found him in there and sent him the message, and wound up listing his house in Bellevue just out of LinkedIn. No advertising required, just time invested.
Why aren't you smiling in your picture though, Leon?
My daughter was probably robbing me like the Jetsons or something, so it's.
You look very angry.
I'll fix that.
one more
Probably
thing.
looking at the stats of the market.
Right.
Marcus, how do you put videos in LinkedIn messages?
I don't know. I don't use LinkedIn much, but you're gonna convince me that I need to be on there.
Oh, I thought that was you that said
No,
that.
I did say that. Someone's been telling me video messaging now, just like you have Messenger, you can start video messaging each other with LinkedIn.
Can we share our ad there? You know how we can share it
I don't
everywhere?
see why not.
Yes, you can. No, you can. But you know, once again, you don't oversaturate something. You want to stand out different from others, and you throw enough out to be curious. So I would throw the picture in a link and then press on, and then let them just drive them to your site and let the site do the work. And that's all you need to do.
One more thing I do also, you're gonna find a lot of realtors, a lot of brokers, they know you through LinkedIn. It makes it easy when they have a listing and you have a buyer and that listing have 10 offers. Hey, we're friends on LinkedIn. And that got me into an offer for my buyer. And another thing I did for one contact, I found out we went to the same school. I'm probably much older than her. So I said, hey, just a way to connect. Hey, I see we went to the same school, but I'm probably much older than you. I'd love to add you on my network. And she was a contact, like somebody liked the listing through text, StreetText. So find something, read about them. Whenever I have a listing, I do a small talk. Hey, look at my listing. And I do a small video and put all the picture. This also goes on LinkedIn all the time. People, they see me active, but they see me personal of something humanitarian, whatever I share. I don't do it every day also, but it takes only one to like and one to connect. All your past jobs, all friends, all of them are on LinkedIn. Connect with them. That's an easy way.
Yeah, you know, it's that basic win friends and influence people, right? You gotta look at finding ways. It's not always the home that you have to trust. It's common bond and being, you know, like rapport. Just, oh, you love the Raiders, I love the Raiders.
Yeah, yeah. Find
something, you know, I love your puppy, you know, whatever that is. Like, it's not always the, like, you know, the home value. It's not always the home value that's going to connect with them, and usually it's actually not at all the home value. They actually like you based on what you get put out there. So I think you got to let your personality shine through in whatever you do send.
Yeah, don't give up. Keep connecting. Don't give up. Just for the people who are being demotivated, hey, we all have our bad days. Just wake yourself up. Hey, it's another day. I'm healthy. Everything's gonna work. It's nothing personal. Own it.
Own it.
Own it. That's it. It's not their problem. It's my problem. Maybe I did not follow up. Maybe I'm not concentrating on those leads, but there is something gonna come. There's some bozos out there. Fine. I don't need them.
Yeah. It's your tribe that you're building. It's your community that you're building.
Yeah.
So come across it as you're creating and building a community, and people are going to like you or they're not, and that's okay. But I think you're going to get, you know, be okay to get some objections, have a tough exterior. At the end of the day, like if they say no, sometimes I have somebody I remember that used to say no just means not yet. You know, like until they literally say unsubscribe or, like, you know, say something bad to you, I think you just keep on going and just
goodbye. I don't want you in my energy. I don't want you in my space.
Yeah, like that stalker that sent the letter in the beginning, like that's goodbye. Like, no way.
Like, okay, right? One goes, 10 comes. That's my philosophy. One door closes, there's 10 more opens.
Mindset.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, Marcus.
If Wendy's still on here for your Vegas thing, you should say life shouldn't just be a roll of the dice or something along that lines, and have 7s or 11s showing on that thing so that you're showing them that with you they're a winner.
Yeah, in my marketing package, it's all Vegas. Like, it has cards and it has dice and it has slot machines, like on every page of my marketing. So yeah, I did use that. But yeah, good idea. I know. I'm just excited that happened, because one of them, speaking of negative people, he actually texted me right after we were all done passing them out. And he goes, just to let you know, whoever is passing these out, broke through my backyard and put this on my door, which is not smart. And I knew exactly which house he was talking about because I did it. And I didn't break into the backyard. They had a huge gate that was open, but apparently the front door was on the other side. That's how huge this lot was. And I thought it was weird because I was walking through, here's a volleyball court, a freaking batting cage, a pool, I keep going and I find a door and I put it on the door and apparently I almost got shot. But anyway, and so yeah, I'm like, I am so sorry, but I hope you enjoy your calendar. So that was the only bad thing.
Marcus, I have a question for you.
Please.
I'm using StreetText for the past 1 week under the trial period. I'm using regularly the Facebook ads, but I'm not getting any quality leads. The leads I'm getting is without a phone number or the false email, no address. Okay, and also, I'm not getting many leads. The past 1 week, I got maybe like 5 or 6. That's it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong.
We need to pause all those ads and split test. And
I do pause the ads and I put a new ad every day.
Which ad? Which funnel?
The one on the first funnel.
The seller or the buyer?
The seller.
Okay, let's connect and get you into the What's Your Home Really Worth funnel. Usually that does the job, and let's just make sure we adjust that image to 15 miles and adjust your pin drop accordingly as well. So if you send me a message on Facebook, I'll help you out with that.
Okay.
You also got to let the ads run. Like if you're doing a brand new ad every day, it's still searching for the what's it called? The audience, right? So it's not giving you a full feature of the audience. You got to let the ads run for 3 or 4 days.
Oh, I should run for 3-4 days?
It depends.
Wow.
I mean, I think it depends. Sometimes, like I work a lot of split testing and A/B testing, and I've seen it for almost 6 years now, and I can make some aggressive moves based on what I see in terms of cost per click and how much has been spent and how many leads you've gotten. So I think you know, the more aggressive you are and the more you see, you can make those decisions. But that funnel, from my perspective, where are you located, by the way?
Toronto.
Okay, so that's a higher end market. I would probably come in a little bit stronger, maybe 12 to 15 on a daily ad spend to start. And because you're just going to be competing in a higher end market, that usually does it. And then I would probably use a satellite image, zoom out with that image, and I would drop the pin accordingly so you can hack it a little bit with the water. But again, just message us and I'll show you some results based on that. That's usually the quick move that I make.
Okay, I will Facebook message to you.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
And anyone that's struggling with ad performance, actually coming up in about 45 minutes is the ad performance review with Stephen Whiting. And he's the founder of the company. And that's a really great one to come into. So you can, you know, not that you have the whole day ahead of you where you can just zoom in with everybody, but that's a great class. And then each one of your coaches has their own way of now doing more group style ad performance reviews.
These are recorded too, right?
They're recorded, yeah.
It's perfect.
Any ad can work, guys, but you got to realize that every time you run a new ad, you're segmenting a new group of 500 people in the first 24 hours. So it could work in your favor and it could absolutely suck. So it's not like the split test just automatically gets you leads. Sometimes you got to do multiple split tests and then A/B test of the split test to find it. But once you do, then it starts working predictably. All right, we're 15 past. Any more last minute questions before we go? We will let you go.
I was just gonna have a quick thought request. If we don't have a subject for next week, how about we come in and start with the beginning and just take somebody's platform, show the setup for the ad, go look at what happens, go look from there, the suggested kind of follow up, and just roll it from start to finish. Because like I said, we had a lot of snippy people and it's frustration. I get it. And it'd be nice to let everybody see how it progresses through for where it is. And then everybody's got their own way of trying to convert, but at least if they see how it works through the StreetText system, it might give them a better idea if they're looking to kind of make adjustments or modify things of what to do to get a better conversion rate on their stuff. Because at that point, at the beginning, we all are beginning at the same place. And that might be good for folks. Show up, take notes, and what have you.
I agree. Let's do that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that would work perfectly for me.
Back to the basics. We'll call it back to the basics. StreetText 101. All right, guys.
Everybody be safe. Have a good week. If you need something, reach out. Like I said, I came to share, not snap heads off. So if you're having a bad day, I can even handle some venting. But you know, hey, let's just get back to how we were doing things.
Yeah, this is how we started the business, right? And we start the business every day. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.